I have return of the king on for court while Dad's out. Donald's at work. I'm about to go out and feed the chickens. We have to feed the goats and the chickens separate because the chickens like to eat the goat feed. And right now they're in the same fenced-in area, mainly because we have one water heater and we put them together when our one goat died, and Blue needed a friend, so he's kind of adopted the chickens. It's kind of cute. If we leave the chickens in too long, the goats start yelling at us. I think they've taken them as pets, goat pets. So I'm bundled up, got my owl hat on, my mother-in-law gave me, and we're about to go feed the chickens and check on the goats before I have to head into the office. So here we go. So, we didn't get a whole lot of snow, it's just really sticky snow. It's kind of pretty, but I hope I don't fall on my butt. We'll see. My goats! Blue just peeked his head out. Oh, no, right there. You see that head? That's Blue. Here comes Dad with a load of wood. See Dad. He's probably going to try to unload it today by himself, which means I may have to go into the office later than I intended. Because I'm going to help him do that. Plus we need the wood. It's cold. Hi, Dad. Filming. How's your doctor's appointment?
Good.
Hi, Blue. You're not going to try to unload that wood today by yourself, are you? Not with those pants on. I'm going to go feed the chickens. They're so cute. You guys are so cute. Let's make sure I don't fall here. It's slippery. I don't like it. Here they come. Chaos ensues. Good morning. You really want them chickens out, don't ya? Don't ya? I have to go slow. I have Doc Martens. Doc Martens are not good for the snow. So, I need new boots. Good morning, guys. Oh my goodness. We got some fluff happening. Your back hairs are sticking up there, Belle. Poor Blue. He's got mites on his legs. We've been treating it with medication that a goat friend of mine gave me. And a sulfur lotion. I was going to do another dose of the sulfur lotion yesterday, and then I decided I didn't want him to have wet stuff on his legs when it's supposed to get in the negatives today and tomorrow. So we're delaying it a few days. So Friday. What is it? Wednesday. Friday, I'll put another dose on. We also have a big tree, pine tree, that my cousin Brian gave us because he bought a pasture, 5 acres. That was a tree farm. He's planning on clearing it out. Oh, we're so excited. He's planning on clearing it out give us the, well, not just us, but we got our Christmas tree last year from there. Some of the other family did, and we're using it to feed the goats because pine, I've learned, is good for parasites in goats, and they love to eat it. It's like a treat. I'm coming. So we like to have regular pine. Plus they like roughage. They're ruminants. They got small ruminants like a cow. So they need roughage in order to digest properly. Get that rumen working. Pine is good for killing parasites, and it helps prevent worms, I'm told. I'm still learning about that. Let's see if Belle's gonna go crazy again. Hi, Belle. What are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway, so pine is a great treat for them. So eventually we're going to check the woods out here for some pine. We got bamboo right there. Just to help them, one, digest, and then to kill parasites regularly. Kind of makes me wish I had a tree farm. Maybe I should see if any tree farms are cutting any bad trees down. Like, not pretty trees for Christmas. And that way, maybe they'll give them to me for free. Or really cheap. What you got to say? You saying good morning? Chickens are in our chickshaw. That is a chickshaw designed by Justin Rhodes, Abundant Permaculture. Our chicken can saw kind of snow on it. We got a little snow in the feed, so we're gonna give them a couple scoopfuls. We have about 20 chickens, and we feed them. I think my husband feeds them like 8 scoops. I only do 4. Probably could do more in the winter. We feed them a lot of kitchen scraps, vegetables, things we've grown in the garden, but I don't have many of them right now. We're still buying grocery store fresh veggies, which isn't ideal, but I need my vegetables. I like having the bowls near the fence. As you can see, we have an extra fence, our former goat fence, that separates the goats from getting here and eating the chicken feed, because they will eat the chicken feed. So they got hit a couple times by the electric fence. That was it. They don't try to get in here anymore, but goats are stubborn, so eventually they will try again. And we want to keep critters out from everybody. I might give them a little extra today since it's so cold. And I'm cold too. What I like about the feed that we give them, corn-based feeds tend to ferment, create heat. So any feed that's on the ground, one, when I put it on, it's warm, it starts to melt that snow. And it'll start to heat that ground. So it starts to melt the snow in the bowls, which then makes the corn a little bit wet, and it ferments a little bit from being wet, as much as it can in this cold anyway. But the bonus of that is fermented food is better for chickens. Now, we don't ferment our food. We want to. We're following a lot of Justin Rhodes' advice on that. We just can't afford to buy feed in bulk right now. It's on the list. So now let's let the chickens out. This is our gate that we used to get in to our chicken coop. It's got these little goat tracks everywhere. It makes me happy. I never thought I would like goats. I've only been a goat owner for a little over half a year. I've learned a lot, had a lot of heartache for people that have followed some of our story that know me. And we'll probably share that story later, but we had a tragic goat death last month that really stuck with me and learned a lot. It's freaking cold. Sorry about your feet. It's not too deep though. Taking their time. I don't blame them. So they'll make their way through that fence. As long as they don't hit their cone, they don't get shocked because their feathers tend to protect them for the most part from that. Watch them go through real quick. There goes one. She went through fine. There we go. Come on, guys. I know it's snowy. I think they're trying to fly over the snow as far as they can. I don't blame you, but you gotta eat. Let me back out of the way. Maybe they don't want to be here while I'm around. We got two roosters chasing each other up there. We actually lost a rooster recently. We were going to kill this white one, and we might still yet. We got some chickens eating. They were making their way. The white hen right there, well, white and black, she's our matriarch. Her name is 𝙒𝙖𝙔𝙎. She's our oldest chicken. We've literally had her for 4 years. And normally we call the older chickens because they're no longer of use as far as laying eggs go, but they can be of use as far as butchering and eating the meat. But since she was Donald's first ever Americana, first ever chicken he's owned, we originally got 5, and she's the last one. She's the Betty White of the Golden Girls. So that's what she's a golden girl. So we're going to hold on to her as a pet in the meantime. She'll probably die this year. But right now, she's doing great. Now, up there's our goat pen. We keep it deep bedded with straw during the winter. So they have comfortable and warm hay. Now, you don't have to put as much deep straw in the summer. You just want it to be clean to avoid parasites and bacteria and mold and things. In the winter, we deep bed though because it kind of, it's like compost. It heats up, it ferments, and that keeps them warm in the winter. And also keeps a good layer of stuff between them and the cold ground. You still have to clean it out regularly and add more straw throughout the winter. We just added some 2 days ago. So we'll keep an eye on it. If it gets too wet or they've soiled it too much, we'll replace it or add to it temporarily so that it keeps fermenting and creating that warmth for them. But the goal is obviously to keep the pen clean. You need to keep the pen clean. So that's what we're doing. We still got more ladies coming out. We just cleaned this pen. Here, I'll come in and show you. 3 weeks ago, and it's already full of poop. And I mean, I cleaned it. I scrubbed, well, not scrubbed, but I scraped the crap out of it. And this is how much they've pooped, or how much they've stayed inside, I guess. So as soon as we can get a day out here where we can work, we're gonna clean it some more. They rest on these beams. That acts as their roost. And then they poop in the rabbit wire. Usually it falls to the ground. Obviously, these turds are pretty big, so it doesn't always. We have one egg back there. They're still learning to lay in the nesting boxes. I don't see any in the nesting boxes. I love the design of this coop. It works really well. And actually, I see over here, the roof has shifted. So we're gonna go ahead and try to fix that real quick. It's good enough for temporary work, but we're gonna put a protector around that heat lamp here soon. Tonight, actually, we bought one. My dad had broken the other one, so. I like the design of this chicken coop. I love having mobile animals because we have such a small property. It allows us to utilize as much of it as possible. Now, lately we've been keeping them in the same spot just so we figure out where we're gonna put everything, because we're still working on figuring out the design of the homestead. But what I like about this is we can move this on the garden. We had it on the garden last summer. We moved it at the end of last summer. And we're gonna put some layers of dirt and mulch on that area, because you can't plant in chicken poop for like a year. It'll pretty much burn your plants if you don't let it kind of, I guess it's another type of fermentation, let it really weather down. Now we have a lot of rabbit poop though, and rabbit poop you can put directly on your garden. So I'll be doing that this year. But we're adding a lot of soil and compost and wood chips to that area of the garden where they were. The other area where our raised beds are currently, we didn't put any chickens. So we're gonna till in or rake in some rabbit poop, and we've got some mushroom soil, which is made of horse manure that's been sitting, and that's been sitting for over a year. And put wood chips on top of that, which we get free from our township, which is fantastic. I love free. We've been trying to get one of the tree trimmers that we see on the road. They're constantly going up and down, trimming trees for the power lines and things. And we've stopped 2 of them and asked them, you know, if you get any extra chips, because they always look for a place to dump it. Dump it over here. We'll take them. Take all you got and some. There's not too much wood chip for us, but they have yet to come. So we just go every so often to our local township, pick up a truckload of mulch. Wood chips, not mulch. We love Justin's design, and it's worked great for moving the chickens around. The only problem was we didn't realize the wheels we buy for this are like $50 a pop. I mean, they can get really expensive. And plastic, when it's frozen and stuck somewhere, you try to move it, it's way more easily breakable. So I want to say last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, we moved this in order to get them out of direct wind, because as you can see in the front, we have the rabbit wire, because you need air ventilation with chickens. They're very prone to like a hypothermia type state if it's this cold and you box them in and all that wet air just stays in there. So you need to have airflow within your chicken coop. But also because it's winter, we're trying to keep them warm. So we have plastic on the sides just for a little bit of extra protection, and then we've got the airflow still on the front for preventing hypothermia. But the wind comes from our west portion a lot of our property, and this was facing that way, so the wind was just going right on top of them. So we were trying to turn it. You can see we kind of got halfway, and this is good enough for where the wind comes. But the tire was stuck in the ground and frozen. So now it's like broken in half. What's up, lady? It's one of our barred rocks. Oh, you can tell her foot's cold. You guys should hang out in your coop today. So the tire is broken. These are $50 tires, and they work great. They hold up fantastic in the summer, but when you get where they're stuck to the ground and you try to move them, they'll break. The other one's fine. I think we were able to lift that one up more. This one, we just, for some reason, it wouldn't lift off the ground. And it's like when you have a brick on the ground, bricks have that porous surface, so water gets in there, and then if it's on the ground, and I've got a couple on the ground here now, it sticks. It creates that ice connection with the ground, with all the water in the ground. So I was trying to kick up bricks, get them off the ground. It was not working. I was like, you know what? They can stay there. I'm not going to try to take these bricks off the ground. So we got some bricks hidden in the snow, which is fun to navigate if you have to remember where they are. What's up, pretty girl? What you doing? You trying to get down there where there's no snow? Up here, we have, I have to get them water yet, but we have a water heater. We just keep that plugged in constantly for the goats and the chickens. Hi, Blue. And they've always got non-frozen water. Works great. This has been a lifesaver. What's up, buddy? You see the chickens are up there playing in the fermented hay. They love to look for bugs, which to me is great, because it means they're eating bugs out of where the goats sleep. At the same time, I don't like having chickens with goats because chickens are prone to mites, and Blue has mites now, and I don't know if that's related. I'm going to assume that it is. It makes sense logically. So we're going to separate them here soon. It's too cold to worry about it now. But chickens and goats together, you know, it works pretty well. As long as the issue is the goats can get into that pen. And they like to lay in there. It's fun for them, I guess. I'll show you a picture here. But the problem is, because that's where the chickens sleep at night, I feel like there's probably mites in there. And we don't have a dust bath currently. We're working on getting one together. We have a lot of wood ash because we burn wood. Blue's biting my butt. So we have wood ash that we can mix in with some loose soil that we've got to create a nice dust bath for them so they can take care of their own mites. But every time we put a dust bath in there, these goats playing. Every time we put a dust bath in there, they shit in it, lay eggs in it, or they knock it over. The knocking over is the more frequent part, so the dust bath is now broken. We have to get another one. We're working on that next. Woohoo! I'm getting pretty froze, so I'm gonna go inside. I've got them fed. They've got some water. I'm gonna see if Dad will give them some more water later. And then I'm gonna have to go in the office, and we'll see what's going on when we get back. My husband and I both work day jobs, so the homesteading thing is kind of part-time right now. It would be nice to be full-time eventually. Belle wants some of that pine. Look at that. Do you want me to come up there and give you pine? All right, well, as a treat, you're gonna watch me feed them pine instead, real quick. That's the tree my cousin got us. Come up here, guys. Oh, Blue just took a big old chunk out of there. Oh, you having trouble? Are you having trouble? You want some? You're the one reaching for it. Are you trying to get up there? Belle doesn't like to eat the branches for some reason. She picks off the needles individually. Here, fine. You big bully. You big bully. Hi, Pip. Look at my hat. So these are my guys. Trying to eat my hat. Oh, don't eat my hat. My hands are getting froze. I'm gonna try one more. Blue loves this stuff. This is his treat. It's just Oreo running and pooping. Belle, you're gonna miss out on your chance. I'm gonna go soon. Alright guys, so these are my babies. It's my Blue, my buddy. I have to go inside now. I'm really cold. I had my hand out of my glove during all of this, which is not a good idea. My hand's frozen now. Are you following me? You just want to eat my hat. How about we don't eat my hat? Blue likes to eat my hair too. So you have to be careful. He'll jump on you. I'll sit on the ground. He'll jump on my back and eat my hair, eat my clothes. You following me? I don't have any more. I don't have any more. You can see we got one tree. Hi, Belle. So we got one tree from my husband's job. Someone gave us their Christmas tree. We make sure they don't have any kind of spray or those plastic icicles, which are a pain to get out. So the goats can eat it. I don't have to worry about them dying from some kind of poisonous stuff or plastic. What you thinking? You want to eat my poncho? How about we don't do that? My buddy. My goodness. Are you playing? Are you playing? What you thinking? Oh, there goes Belle. Snorting, running. You guys are so cute. I don't even know what to do. What I love about all of our goats is they all have blue eyes. It wasn't planned that way. I do love the blue eyes. Mocha had brown eyes. My only brown-eyed goat. That's the one that died. And I do miss Mocha a lot. So my husband just informed me that we have 2 new rabbits that you want to put them up here and I'll just peek at them. That a coworker gave you? Is that right?
Yeah.
Coworker gave them. And they're chubby. Look at those rabbits. That one's got like a triple chin thing going on there. I'm trying to get my angles right with the cell phone, but they're cute. They were roaming around outside.
Well, they were his, and they got loose, and he couldn't capture them, and he finally caught them.
So they're used to being outside, but what we're gonna do is set up a cage in the garage because tonight is so freaking cold. And we have this old rabbit cage a friend gave us. We put some pine shavings in the bottom. We put them in there, give them food and water for tonight. And put a cover on it and leave them in the garage. It gives them a little extra protection. It's really windy out right now. Oh, that's funny. This is just temporary. They're kind of big for 2 rabbits in that cage. But again, it's just for tonight until we find a better location. Man, that's a big bunny.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest. It's bigger than any buck we have.
That's bigger. Big bunny. Let's get a close-up on this bunny. That is a big bunny. You're a big bunny. And then we got a littler gray one. I like watching my husband catch animals. It cracks me up. Do we get to keep the tote?
Yep.
Sweet. We can use that for chick transportation.
He said he put holes in it so they can breathe. He didn't want it back, so he put holes in it.
Well, there you go. So now we're gonna get some food and water for these guys. And I'm gonna cover their cage just for a little bit of extra protection just for tonight until we get a permanent location for them. And more breeding rabbits, I guess. And I mean, we could eventually eat them, but for right now, we're just kind of the misfit animal area. So we're gonna find some food and water and then go the heck inside because it's too cold.